Ahead of tonight's State of the Union address, the president of the Family Research Council gave a speech of his own Monday. Tony Perkins delivering the state of faith, family, and freedom in Washington.
Probably the only point that we can reference that is close is where our nation was when Abraham Lincoln was alive. And I thought of Mr. Lincoln's House Divided speech that he gave back in 1858 when our nation was bitterly divided over the issue of slavery. And he quoted the Bible when he said this. He said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand."
And Tony joins us now. Tony, welcome. So you say our nation is probably as divided as it's ever been since just before the Civil War. What makes you say that? That's a pretty strong statement.
Well, when you look at what's happening across the country, where you have states that are deciding that they're going to protect the sanctity of human life, you have other states that are saying, no, we're going to pay for it all the way up until the birth of a child. We have states that are protecting children from experimental surgeries that would mutilate their bodies. We have other states saying we're going to be a sanctuary where those kids who want to change their sex, they can come to our states. And so we see ourselves divided over that. You can call it red, you can call it blue, you can call it right, you can call it wrong. But the interesting thing in terms of comparison to where we were in 1858, 1860, going into the Civil War, that Abraham Lincoln wanted to preserve the Union, but he knew that he couldn't preserve it based upon a lie, based upon ignoring the truth. He realized that the only way to have lasting unity was to have truth, and he stood for that even in the face of a divided nation where we went through a civil war. And I think ideologically we are divided. But I think there are those who understand that we have to stand for the truth. We have to protect our children. We have to protect our religious freedom. And quite frankly, what I see happening is encouraging, because we see states, we see Americans, we see moms and dads who, they're no longer waiting for Washington, D.C. They're moving forward to preserve this country of ours.
You know, Tony, how do you think we become a united nation, again, when so many people have, you know, what they would say it's a different, they have their version of the truth?
Well, therein lies the problem. And I think the way forward, as it was in Abraham Lincoln's day, is that, especially for Christians, this is where we need to share the gospel, the news, the good news, and rebuild our communities, beginning in our homes, on the truth of God. I don't think as Christians we can shrink back, even though we're a pluralistic and increasingly secular society, that somehow we have to feel like the Word of God, biblical truth, is no longer applicable to our life. Even more so than ever in our national life, we need to have the truth. And the only way it's going to make an appearance is with us living it out in an authentic way and not being fearful, not shrinking back, and being silent.
All right, Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council. It's always good to have you on the show. Tony, thank you so much.
Great to be with you. Have a great day.